years ago. This put me on the international stage. So let me first go with who I am. Okay, so my name is Rory, and I'm wearing glasses, and I've got brown hair, and I'm freezing cold in Johannesburg. And yeah, I'm not related to Tyrion Lannister, and I do not do kids' parties. Okay, you can follow me on Twitter or X or XAR or whatever it's called right now. So what do I do really is I empower every developer and every person to achieve more using Microsoft's tools and products. And one of the things I really do is I speak around the world on accessibility. Now, this talk is on two main topics. It's on AI, but it's also on accessibility. And I got the motivation for this talk because I used to be able to introduce people to Claudia, Ashley, and Ron. And Claudia is, you can kind of there, she's severely, partially sighted. Ashley is sight impaired. And Ron is he's retired, and he's 82 years old. And I constantly had a back and forward with all the AIs that I'm speaking to. And I remember screaming in an Alexis robot saying, hey, listen to me, be serious. I'm being sarcastic with you. So much so that I even spoke at the United Nations on Global Accessibility Awareness Day. And I said the fundamental change will be when AI can understand human sentiment. And what better way to understand that is to be able to understand sarcasm. And one of the key differentials with sarcasm is the voice. So if you can see here, the person is saying, of course, there's some sarcastic facial features here, and there's no tonality with, of course. And the person who can't see them or maybe hear them or understand them would say, wait a second, is that sarcasm? Is that not sarcasm? On the internet, it's very difficult to understand sarcasm. So much so that the American Secret Service created a request, a paper for a computer-based annual social media analytics subscription. This was in 2014. They've subsequently pulled the paper. But one of the key requirements is to detect sarcasm. And they couldn't do it. The American Secret Service couldn't do it. And this was, for me, a game changer because it meant that I could do a talk on it. So I started 6 years ago looking at how to do that. So the first thing I did is, spin up all of the AI tools at the time. And one of the tools that we had, we didn't have LLMs, large language models. We had different machine models with that, the precursors to LLMs. So I spun up one of these systems and I said to it, okay, and you can QR code there, tell me, what is sarcasm linked to? And this is the basic corpus here. And this is a corpus, so it's some data of Wikipedia with sarcasm. And if you see here, it's pretty complicated because sarcasm is part of a universe of complexity. And this is a small little extract of text. And if we look through it also, when we go through those little galaxy paths, it's very difficult to ascertain exactly how we're going through this. So this was 6 years ago. And you can see that it's almost like a brain. And I remember saying to you, this is like the human brain that is a neural net. This is a recurrent neural net. It's the precursor for LLMs. And then at the end of my talk 6 years ago, I said, whoa, the only way for us to be able to map sarcasm is for a computer to learn what we find sarcastic. So they took the Twitter sarcasm corpus, and you can go in there, you can go into Deepmoji, it's hosted on Hugging Face. And so I said to them, okay, cool, can it detect sarcasm? So I said, the electricity is off again, oh joy. And it went, sarcastic face, not impressed face, angry face, angry face, angry face. It was the first time humans had been able to detect sarcasm. They took 200 million emojis and mapped it through to that. And then we started linking those emojis through to emotions for AR. And and we brought it into Cortana. And I remember screaming at Alexa, and eventually, it actually could pick up. It started to pick up that I was changing my tone. And then AI. We discovered AI. In 2018, Google launched their seminal paper, Attention is All What You Need. And in 2019 and 2020, we partnered with OpenAI to create the world's largest supercomputer, because we believe that, not that AI will take our jobs, humans will become dumb, AI will enslave us. We believe that there were some very useful applications. We started with GitHub Copilot, and it's going to unlock human potential. So we built the largest supercomputer, and we took the world's knowledge at the time, we tokenized it, we vectorized it, and you saw that with that galaxy view, though, and that is a vectorization. It's a word to vec. We then encoded it, we popped it into latent space, we used deep speed and zero. We basically we time slapped GPUs, we popped it on Azure cloud, on the largest supercomputing cloud, and we created the largest and the first real foundational models. But we had some changes that we had to make, because previously we had some bad reputations. We had launched some robots that were badly sarcastic. So it wasn't the first sarcastic bot, but this bot was sarcastic. It was trained on the Twitter corpus, but it became racist and violent. And its name was Tay. So I had a lot to change. I had a lot to prove to myself. We had all of those systems and all of those abilities. And I really wanted the world to go through and understand how sarcasm can help people with disabilities. So let's first take a step back and understand exactly what sarcasm is, though. We saw what I did previously 5 years ago. Now I want to reintroduce you to sarcasm and what we can do. So there are very good practical uses for sarcasm. You can use developer advocacy posts with mild snark. You can use code review bots highlighting obvious issues. You can have customer support hold music humor. And you can have onboarding training with comic relief. All of these images you see there were generated with ChatGPT, except for like an image like this. So what is sarcasm? It's not irony. Now, you must understand that sarcasm is a form of irony. So you can see here, this is ironic because there's a complete home repairs there, and it's a dilapidated home. Sarcasm is biting. Stop defacing stop signs. There is an underlying message in there that is almost aggressive. Here, left lane ends. Go ahead, pull your huge SUV in the last moment. Everyone is okay with it. There's a change of tone with that also. So sarcasm is to tear flesh with teeth, a twisted utterance. It's a negative form of rhetoric in which pleasant or natural or pleasant sounding words are used to make harsh criticism. And what it does when you say sounding words, it isn't as simple as taking sentiment from positive or negative. It requires you and your AI to understand how are you going to translate that sarcasm in context. So the best way for me to give you an example for that is to say, well, let's go and talk to ChatGPT. So I asked ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT, tell me a lie. And it's sarcastic. Oh, absolutely. Every developer loves debugging at 2 a.m. because that's when the real productivity kicks in. Not only can it understand sarcasm, it can do sarcasm. So I thought to myself, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try be sarcastic. And I failed. I actually failed completely because I didn't understand how to do it. And I recovered at the end of it because it showed me how to be sarcastic. So I've got a little dad joke here. And no, the novelty is dad jokes can be sarcastic, but they have to have a sarcastic element to it. So my wife told me to do lunges to stay in shape. I guess that's a big step forward. And we're going to work out exactly why that is sarcastic. But as you're hearing that, I can change the tone a little bit. My wife told me to do lunges to stay in shape. Guess that's a big step forward. Do you hear the difference? What it's doing is it's manipulating your brain chemistry. It's setting you up with a cortisol drop. The anxiety is less. It's giving you the punchline. It's stimulating your brain with dopamine. You're having an aha moment when you get that punchline. Your endorphins are rushing. You've got GABA, which is calming you. And then right at the end, you're going to laugh. You've got serotonin and oxytocin that are going to embed the idea behind it. All from a little bit of tone in my voice. Because if I didn't have that tone, it would sound bland. It would be dry. So I analyzed my voice while saying that. And this just looks like, whoa, just random spectrograph here. But in every single bit here that you see, there is a huge amount of data. So with a little Python script, I went in and I said, please help me understand why this is stimulating my brain, why this is sarcastic. So over here, it said, okay, we've got a punchline region, and you've got a sarcasm, and the basic AI model, which is just a TensorFlow, if I remember, there's a structural shift and a narrative pivot. We're changing the sentiment. My wife says I should do lunges to stay in shape. I guess that's a big step forward. We're going from positive sentiment to negative sentiment. And we're changing the tonality with it as we progressed. Now, we're also creating prosody dimensions, pitch, intensity, tempo, intonation, and timbre. And we've got subtone cues. We've got micro rise with pitch, and we're going to convey excitement or happiness. We're going to have intensity, slight surge, anger or urgency, tempo, brief pause, hesitation or anxiety, intonation, downward lilt. I don't even know if that's the word, lilt, yes. Sarcasm or doubt. Timbre, breathy ras, sadness or fatigue. So you've got the main tone, and then you've got the subtone for that. That creates a cascade of emotions. So this is the Platic, I've got it here, Platic scale of emotions. This is the severity of the emotions and the subtones that trigger them. Now, if you see here, interestingly, boredom creates disgust, creates loathing. Now, scientists say that if you ever see a kid and you make them bored, they actually start to get sick, because boredom is an evolutionary trait that says go and hunt and gather and survive. But we've got so many different ones here. And I tried originally, and I'm going to show you how I failed. And I created originally a sarcastic AI model that maps my sarcasm with millions of different variations. But then I thought, wait a second, I don't need them to know me. I need them to know themselves. So I created a demo for you. So let's go into the demo. You can click it. You can go to aka.ms/sarcasm. It's going to be open now. It's running on a container app, Azure container app. It's using Azure OpenAI, and it's just TypeScript running on a container app, and it cost me pennies to run. I am going to switch it off after this demo. So if you want to go in there, have a squiz. It's got 2 CPUs, 4 gigs of RAM. And then I said to myself, okay, we're going to go through the demo, and then I'll come back to the demo. So let's go into the demo. So let me Alt tab through here. The first thing I want to show you is how I failed. This is very interesting. So I created, and this is using the humour AI to go in and map my sarcasm. So I set all of the pattern weights to what I deemed my sarcastic way of speaking. And then I set the detection threshold. And then I said to a few of my colleagues and friends, go test it. They go, Rory, it's not picking up my sarcasm. And I realized that the permutations were so slight, it was picking up Rory's sarcasm. So let's start a call here. Hi.
Hey there. How's your day going so far? I'd love to hear what's on your mind.
My wife said I should do lunges to stay in shape. I guess that's a big step forward.
I hear you.
Oh, I see what you did there.
That's a clever pun. Lunges are indeed a big step forward, literally, and for fitness. Are you feeling inspired to give them a try?
Give me a sarcastic joke.
Sure thing. All right. Here's a sarcastic joke for you. I'm so glad I learned about parallelograms in school, and it's really come in handy during those parallelogram emergencies.
It's not picking up its sarcasm. It's actually picking up my sarcasm. And if you see here, it actually picks up all of the emotions here. So you get permutations to the millions, if not billions there. So I'm going to end the call there. And now I'm going to go back to aka.ms/sarcasm. And now I stopped using that and I said, okay, cool, that's not going to work. Let me rather use an LLM. So I've got a sarcasm detector here. So I'm going to go, my wife asked me to do lunges to stay in shape. I guess that's a big step forward. Let's see what it picks up here. Exclamation mark. We want to get the spelling right here. Lunges is I think lunges. Is that how you spell lunges? I'm sure that's. Let me just go back here.
That looks correct.
Why does it not like that? Okay, let's just go back here. Let's go back here. Okay, so this is GPT 4.0, and I'm going to detect the sarcasm. It pops it in there, and it's got a meta prompt. You can get access to the source code. I'm going to give it to you there. It's going to analyze it there, and it's going to analyze the sentiment flow, and if it works, there, picked up sarcasm. The text plays on words, on humor, characters, or sarcasm. The use of I guess before that's a big step forward hints at the underlying sarcasm. It combines the literal act of lunging in the figurative big step forward in fitness. Suggests the speaker might not be completely sincere about the effectiveness of enthusiasm for the suggested exercise. Okay, that's great and all. But okay, Rory, you said to me that you're going to do facial expressions. I created a webcam analysis. I'm going to start the camera here. And we're going to go allow. Okay, I'm going to do that there. And I'm going to go, okay, so pardon the French. And now analyze expression. I'm smiling and doing a rude gesture. So I can't help that. Okay, no. Don't. Bad AI. Okay, don't you deny me my right, my sovereign right to actually there. Okay, cool. Towards a sarcastic expression. Yeah. So it can do faces. It can do text. Can it do voice? My wife asked me to do lunges to stay in shape. I guess that's a big step forward. So this is going to translate it using the TTS model. And then it's going to say to me, wait a second, is that sarcastic? What I'm looking for here is just a little bit of tone changes, a little bit. Because I don't know if I'm actually saying that correctly. Let's see if it goes through. I think a lot of people on it, so it might actually be slowing down a little bit here. Let's actually go into the other one. Let's go to the other one. This is the nice thing that I've realized is that always have a backup. Always have a best backup detector, audio analysis. Let's go to here. And we're going to go here. I'm going to go start recording. My wife told me to do lunges to stay in shape. I guess that's a big step forward. Let's go there. We can always come back to that at another time though. And let's go back there. Okay, so that I think it's already confused itself though. And we can go through. Oh, there. Analysis timed out. Analyze voice. Do it again. Okay, so with the voice, and I'm going to go through it with the screenshots, it actually just picks up a very slight tone changes. And then with that tonality, you can get a view of sarcasm. So then I thought to myself, there we go. Moderate pitch variation, normal expressive voice with frequent pitch changes. Sarcasm detected. Okay, so am I doing it right, though? No. because I found out that I was actually doing it wrong. Because halfway through me doing this talk and investigating this talk, we had the most fundamental shift because we created emotional voices, the ability to create sarcastic voices. So this is speaking a sarcastic tone.
My wife asked me to do lunges to stay in shape. I guess that's a big step forward.
Why? Why only now? Why did we only discover this now? And I think that is the most important part of this talk, because we looked at how an LLM can analyze it. We looked at creating it. We looked at all the different types of variations: intensity, humor, harshness, and subtlety, tonality, the voice. But we didn't actually understand exactly how to add prosody on it. How did we get to that point? So this is the real way that you're supposed to be sarcastic.
My wife told me to do lunges to stay in shape. I guess that's a big step forward.
See, this was done in partnership with Microsoft Accessibility, with CELO, who I partner with. Now, we have a vested interest. We're on 95% of the world's computers. We're more than 2 billion people use our products. And we partner, and we have a business on accessibility. So I am ahead of time, but I want to share with you something that was very important to me. So 17 years ago, I was in a ventilator. And I remember looking out at the people, and I was awake, and I wanted to be funny. I wanted to tell them about different jokes and everything, and I couldn't even communicate with them. And I remember I just wanted the ability to tell jokes, just to be myself. And as soon as I got off the ventilator, I was just being sarcastic again. And in March of this year, we released the tonality, the GPT-4.0 TTS model. And we did that with partnering with individuals who really helped us with that. I want you to watch a video. It's 4 minutes long. And this is how we created that voice.
Brian is somebody everybody should know. He's just witty and funny and likes to tell a lot of jokes, a lot of dad jokes.
I used to bite my nails, but thanks to ALS I don't anymore. My name is Brian Jensen. I was born and raised on the outskirts of New Orleans. I married my amazing wife in 2003. We have created a beautiful family of 7.
Around 2019, Brian started having some issues with his ankle. I was able to get him an appointment with a doctor, and he was like, I hate to tell you, but this is ALS. We were definitely not ready. Like, my heart hurt for him being so caught off guard.
For those people who have experienced ALS, you don't wish it on your worst enemy. It's a neurodegenerative disease that essentially stops sending signals from your brain to the rest of your body, to the point where you lose your ability to use your arms, or your legs, your voice.
My voice was my superpower. I am a conversationalist, so my voice weakened over a year's time, and the whole year was filled with sorrow.
We might joke like, oh, I hate the sound of my own voice. But in reality, your voice is your personality. It creates an actual emotional auditory event in the brain of your loved one.
My voice was the scariest thing to lose, more than eating and even breathing, because I knew there were fixes for those things. But my voice, how would I live in a world where my kids wouldn't be able to hear me say, I love you?
Over the course of somebody's progression, one thing that they can do to be proactive is preserving their voice.
One of the challenges with voice thinking in and of itself, because it creates that computerized version of their voice, is that it doesn't have a lot of emotion and tone. So with what Microsoft is doing, their voice banking technology really gives someone back that intonation and a little bit more of their personality.
There's just something intimate about hearing his voice, his little quirks. I'm just excited to really just hear him.
Any technology that can get my voice as close to normal, well, that is a gift not just to me, but to my whole family.
So, Brian, today we're gonna play like a newer version of your voice. And I'm hoping when you hear this, and when you hear this, it's gonna remind you a little bit more of what he sounded like beforehand. So you just choose any phrase and then I'll play it on here as well.
Hey beautiful people, I am so happy to be with all of you.
All right, I'm gonna type it out.
Hey beautiful people, I am so happy to be with all of you.
Dang!
Hey Christy, I love you.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe that, really. Like, that's really crazy.
The biggest opportunities when it comes to emerging technologies is the gap that it can fill, not just here for people with ALS, but you think about anybody whose speech is affected. AI has the ability to increase communication, increase independence. It's the next wave for accessibility.
Here at Team Gleason, we have a phrase, no white flags. From my experience working with individuals living with this disease, that really means that they will not give up who they are.
I am completely in awe and amazed by this voice. I think this sounds just like me, and I am overwhelmed with joy that my family gets to experience this part of me. In many ways, I feel like I am back.
Yeah. The feels, hey, the feels. So I want to thank you, and I want to give you something also for sharing that journey with me. So first of all, it's the code. You can go to github.com, Rory P, the audio detector. If you want to look at the spectrogram and the Sarcasm app, you can also look at how to deploy it with container apps. If you want to play with it, I'll leave it on a little bit there. You can go to aka.ms/sarcasm, learn how to properly deliver that sarcastic remark. And then, of course, what I do for a day job, my day job is I empower people to use AI. And one of the key trainings that we've just done recently is model context for beginners, agentic distributed systems. You can go to aka.ms/MCP for beginners. Incredible training on C#, Java, TypeScript, JavaScript, and Python that I'm one of the co-authors with it. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Rory. That was quite a talk. I didn't really think that they'd made such advances where they can actually identify facial expressions, voice, and text. I'm just going to open it up to the panel to find out if there are any questions that they'd like to ask. The questions can be posted on the Q&A tab at the top there next to the chat tab. You'll be able to type in whatever questions you have for Rory.
Futi, I've actually opened up the floor so that people can actually speak and put their videos on. So because you've got a small group today, so if you really would like to say something, comment, ask a question, just let Futi know, and then we can. Yeah, you should be able to unmute yourself. But yeah, Rory, thank you so much. Sorry, I'm in the dark here. Ronnie.
Hey, Rory, it's Ronnie, yeah. How are you doing?
Cold, hey. Cold, Ronnie. It's cold in Johannesburg.
Cold. Why? Where are you? Antarctica?
At Johannesburg, hey. It feels like it.
Same place. Oh. No, so I was just wondering at DevConf, how did your talk go down? What did you get some feedback there?
After the talk that I did, people came up and just hugged me.
Really? Okay.
Because they said to me they have family and loved ones. There's more than 1 billion people, and those loved ones who are involved with them, more than 3 billion people. And I just got to know some people, and they said, we're here with it. We're an ally with you. Our loved ones are also going through the same thing. So I just hugged them for like maybe 10 people. It was quite an emotional experience.
Yes. Did you do the Cape Town one as well?
Yeah, I did both.
Because I know they hug quite a lot.
They were more huggers than Joburg. That was definitely for sure.
Thought so. Okay, now good talk. Interesting stuff.
Just a question from me, Rory. So, I mean, in a typical scenario where someone is interacting with a person, can you actually run the analysis on all three of the facial, the voice, as well as
the voice banking,
hand gestures?
The voice banking you don't see there. We sell voice banking as neural voices. So you can I can create a footy voice, but I need about 6 hours of your voice recording. And I need the equivalent of your facial expressions. And then I own a footy AI model. So there is a lot of nuances that you need to capture to do that. So that individual, Brian Jensen, they had a lot of material that they trained his voice on. But by doing so, they created and they prototyped the new OpenAI voices. So if you have ChatGPT and you switch on voice mode, that is trained on and has been prototyped on that technology.
Okay. So then this could potentially be used, for instance, in creating a very realistic hologram with the voice as well as the gestures.
The Rory hologram is going to meet with the footy hologram, and they're going to meet together, and they're going to make meeting notes. And then while you and I are on the beach, they're going to send us the meeting notes. This is what I envisage. So in 5 years' time, so I did this talk 5 years before, and it progressed through that. In 5 years' time, my version of me is going to meet with my version of you while we're at the beach, and they're going to take meeting notes.
Wow. Great.
Okay, we are going to charge you an arm and a leg, though. Okay, so get your wallets out.
So does that mean we can have more holidays and let our AI version do the work for us?
It will be the start of the most glorious time in human history, because it'll be the first time that the Industrial Revolution wouldn't have caused people to devise labor as a sense of worth. The white-collar generation will be free.
Nice. And there'll be more work for lifesavers because everyone will be at the beach.
Well, you're going to have AI lifesavers. You're going to have, whatever Elon Musk is cooking up. I don't know if I trust him just yet to actually take a robot and save me, though. But yeah, let's wait. But robotics is far behind that evolutionary step, though. Robotics is about 25 years behind, though. AI, as we know it, though, in 5 years' time, we'll be able to create a perfect avatar of you and me.
Ooh.
Wow. Right.
Brilliant. Thank you, Rory. Footy, thank you.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Any more questions before we wrap up?
All good.
Okay. No. Everyone, thank you for joining us this afternoon, and please have a great evening. And definitely try out some of the resources that Rory has generously made available to us today. Thank you.
In a world driven by data and innovation, you need more than just software. You need smart solutions. At DVT, we design and build custom software, harness the power of AI, and unlock the value in your data through world-class engineering services. Our experts bring strategy, speed, and scalability to your digital journey. Whatever your project requirements, we help you move fast, think smart, and build for the future. Custom software, intelligent data, real results. Visit dvtsoftware.com for more information. DVT.
Smart people, smart solutions.